I'm Tony Altman. I'm the president and CEO of Motivational Fulfillment and Logistics Services, and I've been with Motivational since 2009.
What are value-added services in fulfillment and logistics?
Value-added services is a pretty wide spectrum. I mean, it could be anything from very simple, price ticketing or labeling up to very complex, multi-step reworks, post-return refurbishment. It could even be light manufacturing, depending on what your customer needs. It's really being flexible and offering your customer solutions beyond kind of the basic pick, pack, and ship.
How can consumer brands benefit from value-added services offered by their 3PL?
There's really a variety of ways they can benefit. They can maximize sales, they can minimize waste, they can save time, they can reduce costs, they can enhance the customer experience. There's just so many ways that value-added services can really help the customer.
Tell us more about how value-added services can help maximize sales.
Yeah, I mean, value-added services allow a customer to offer that a product, for sale in a variety of different ways. You may bring a widget in, and if you just have that widget and you sell it to a store, that gives you one opportunity. However, if you bring that widget in and you can rework it into a POP or a PDQ display, it gives you an opportunity to have an end cap display or a middle of an aisle display within a store. If you kit it into a bundle, it allows you to curate a number of different products to meet a customer's needs or desires and sell a larger bundle of products for a higher value. It may allow you to create a mystery bundle where you can sell a large number of products for a slightly discounted price, but a very high volume, because customers often want to see what's in the mystery box. And so they're willing to buy it sight unseen at a little bit of a discounted price just to get the product that's in the mystery box. And what that can also allow you to do sometimes is to close out product that's sort of end of life, or that you have a little bit of leftover inventory for, because you can include that product in a bundle or in a mystery box. So it helps you get rid of inventory that you may otherwise have been stuck with. It allows you to convert product that you may be out of stock for one retailer, but you have an excess of stock for a different retailer. And so if I have Target inventory, but I'm out of Walmart inventory, I may be able to do a reboxing project or a reticketing and change a UPC, converting that Target inventory into Walmart so that I can then meet that Walmart PO that I might have otherwise lost out on.
How can value-added services like packaging, kitting, and bundling help consumer brands minimize waste?
Well, we talked about one of them. I mean, if I've got end-of-life product and I kind of get stuck with that product, I can do some value-added services to create some bundles or kits or mystery boxes, which allow me to move those products. Repackaging into a different package may help me save on DIMs and weights in terms of shipping costs. It may allow me to, again, meet retailer requirements for purchase orders where I might not otherwise have been able to do that. So value-added services just give you flexibility where a lack of VAS doesn't allow you to do it.
How can a value-added service like managing returns help a consumer brand minimize waste?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of returns that come back from customers, those customers end up just disposing of that product. But through a value-added service, we can do post-return refurbishment where we rework those products. As long as the customer provides us with some specs and some replacement parts, then we can go ahead and refurbish those products into like new quality, and then they can be resold and the customer can, recoup some of the costs on those goods.
How can a value-added service like quality control help consumer brands minimize waste?
Quality control will help save in a number of different ways. It'll save the reputation of the customer from shipping a product to a customer that the customer then receives and is damaged or doesn't work, and then they may give a bad review or go on social media and criticize the customer. It helps from shipping that product to the customer and then having the customer have to return the product. So return costs and then reshipping that product again to the consumer. So just a little simple quality control can help catch those issues before the shipment goes out, divert those products back into a vast project where you can then, rework those defects or problems before they ship out, convert that product back into good product, and then ship it out for the first time. So on multiple levels, the QC then catches the defect, you do the VAS to fix the defect, which avoids the waste of throwing away the damaged product.
How can value-added services save a consumer brand time?
If you're short on inventory for one retailer and you need it for another and you don't have time, generally in order to bring product from overseas, it's a 21-day voyage from Asia to the U.S. to bring that product, unless you're going to air freight it, which is very expensive. And so, if you need product in order to fill POs and you're out of product for that particular retailer, you may have product that will serve the purpose in another format. And so, doing a simple VAS project or value-added service project by changing a UPC or a tail code, by reticketing it, by price ticking it, will allow you to meet that PO and sell to that retailer within the time frame that it's needed, without having to air freight or rush those goods from overseas in order to do that.
Can you share an example of a value-added service project Motivational has done where you saved the brand on costs?
I think you can save costs at every step of the supply chain. Let's say, on inbound, for example, let's use one of our customers sells luggage, and they bring in nested luggage. So when they bring that luggage in, it comes in as a single piece with, you know, a, a small inside a medium and a medium inside a large, but all of that comes in a single carton. We then do a value-added service to it to de-nest those pieces and separate them into three separate pieces of luggage that each sell in three cartons. But it saves them on the transportation cost, bringing those goods into the country, and then we do the value-added service to it.
How does packaging impact a consumer's experience with a brand, and how does a 3PL impact the brand's customer experience?
When a customer receives a product, it's really the first impression that they get about the company and the quality of the product, the packaging, how the product is assembled and kitted and put together. Just the quality of the packaging materials are important. And so the 3PL plays an important role in all of that. They should be recommending to the customer, the quality of the packaging materials, how it's put together, the presentation, the dimensions, the dynamic parcel, which means the time in transit, how quickly it gets there. Does a customer get it 7 days a week? There's all of these value adds that the 3PL should be helping the brand along the way, is going to impact how the customer receives that product and the impact that it's going to make on the customer when they open that product for the first time.
How does a value-added service like quality control impact a consumer's experience with a brand?
The first impression the customer gets isn't only from the presentation of the product, but it's the quality of the product and how it works. It could come in the most beautiful packaging ever. It could come in, 3 hours or less, delivered right to the doorstep. You open that up, you're thrilled until the first time you use it and it doesn't work. It's a critical piece. It's just as important as the packaging. It doesn't really matter how beautiful the package is, how quickly it arrives. If the product doesn't work or it's damaged, then that's going to impact the consumer's impression of the brand. And so having QC in place and being able to guide the customer or our brand about the quality of their product, and doing value-added services to make sure that that product is reworked into a prime condition, so that when the customer receives it, that they have the best impression of the brand, is critical.
What are some examples of quality control projects that Motivational has completed for customers?
Sure. It may be replacing a defective part so that the product works properly. It may be updating the software so that the product functions properly, or it may be just updating the software so that when the customer receives the product and opens it and unboxes it, it's got the most up-to-date software and it's ready to use. That way, the customer doesn't have to attach the software to the Wi-Fi, update the software, and spend time and frustrate and gain frustration updating the product before they can first use it.
How does a value-added service like kitting or bundling impact a consumer's experience with a brand?
I mean, whether it's a known bundle and just offering the customer the ability to try multiple SKUs or multiple options of your product together in one bundle, or offering them a mystery box where you say, I'm going to give you, 10 pieces that are worth $79.99, but for $49.99. It just gives your customer an opportunity to try and enjoy your product in different combinations and different forms, and maybe with a little bit of mystery and excitement that just purchasing a single SKU doesn't have, or buying multiple options. And it gives the brand the opportunity to sell multiple SKUs and make a multiple item sale, where maybe if the consumer was buying it, to put 10 items in their cart and spend $80 there's no way they would do that. But you sell them a bundle or a kit at $80 for 10 pieces, it's palatable.
Tell us about the importance of a smooth returns process and how a 3PL can impact that.
Yeah, I think that that's really has to be adopted by the brand, and they need to make sure that they feel that way. But assuming they do, and that's what we recommend to all of them, is to maintain your your reputation and um, the brand continuity. Is our job is to make sure that that process is fluid, that we can get a return label out to the customer, that they can get it back to us, that return is processed quickly, that if a credit is due, that credit is issued to the customer immediately, so that they feel good about the return process and they felt like it was easy, and they would feel comfortable buying another product from that customer. And then on the back end of that, as these returns accumulate, that we can go back to the brand or our customer and say, listen, do you want us to perform a value added service to refurbish these products and convert them back into good units so that they don't lose out or waste the money on these return products.
Can you share an example of how a smooth return process impacts the consumer experience?
We've shipped supplements in the past, and the cost of a supplement bottle isn't very high. The cost of returning a supplement bottle is. And so on numerous occasions we've recommended to our brand or customer that when a customer wants to return the product, that you allow the customer to keep it, wish them well, allow them to keep it, but that you'll issue a full refund for it. It saves our customer the cost of having to refund, process that return in the warehouse. So it saves the brand money. It's goodwill to the customer that you allowed them to keep it. And so overall, it's a win-win versus requiring that customer to return that product. They have to go through what they consider to be a hassle in returning it. Our brand has to incur the cost of not only the postage generally, but processing the return within the warehouse. And so it's just something that through our experience we've learned, and we can generally guide as a trusted advisor. We can guide the brand as to something that's worked in the past, and our brands usually appreciate that guidance.
Tell us about the role of technology in providing value added services.
Sometimes value added services get complex. Sometimes you're kitting multiple items that have expiration dates, lot codes, SKUs. You've got multiple SKUs being married to a main unit. And for potential recall purposes, you need to keep track of all of this. And so you need a system that has the ability to do that. If you get a customer that comes in with a unique vast project or a unique need that you need to build a custom solution for, you need to have the technology and the WMS available and the IT team available that can go out and do the programming very quickly and cost effectively to meet that customer's needs, to offer that solution, in a timely fashion and in a cost effective way. We have a proprietary system. It's very flexible. It's very nimble. We have on-site IT team and programmers. We can generally make changes very quickly, very cost effectively. We usually don't charge our customers even for that programming time. And so when we get a vast project that does require tracking of those serial numbers or lot codes or date codes or expiration dates or whatever it is, we can make the custom changes necessary to meet the customer's needs, usually at no cost to the customer and in a very, very quick time frame.
How would you describe the motivational difference when it comes to value added services?
The culture that we have adopted and that we spread throughout the company is that we're here to service the customer and whatever the customer needs. And so there's no box you need to fit into. There's no requirements that you have to have in order to be a customer or that you need to meet in order for us to do a service for you. We pride ourselves on providing custom solutions for the customer, and that stretches to value added services. If you have a project that needs done, needs to be completed, we'll find a way to get it done. And whether that's through technology or just through creative thinking or experience or something that we've done before, we've reworked over 15 million units here at Motivational over the years. And so there isn't a lot that we haven't done or haven't seen. And so we pride ourselves on being nimble and flexible and offering what we consider white glove service to our customers and really meeting the custom needs of our customers and being able to basically fulfill any value added service requirement that our customers may have.
Why should a consumer brand choose Motivational for their omnichannel fulfillment and value added services needs?
The relationship between the 3PL and the brand is a partnership, and it should be a true partnership, meaning we shouldn't just sit back and be a service company and do what the brand asks us to do. We should be proactively going to the brand and lending our experience and our expertise and finding ways to help the brand. And so oftentimes we will go to our customers and recommend things that we can do, vast projects that we can do to help save them money, kitting or bundling that may help them. Maybe they come to us with a vast project and we say, that'll work, but if we change it up a little bit or we do it slightly different way, we think it can be more cost effective or present a better solution for their end customer or their retailer. And so after 47 years and 15 million reworks, we feel like we have a lot to offer our customers and our brands in terms of value adds and positive solutions.